WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Doing what's best for students. That's been the goal of the school administration in Noxubee County, from being taken over by the state last spring to adjusting to a newly appointed district leader. The school year has been marked by challenges. Our Jory Talley joins us in the studio with more on how the district is handling the change.
Superintendent Rod Brodnax says the district has made a lot of progress in a short period of time. He says the district's educational status as a whole is different now than it was back in August when he first took the job. To see what's been done and what's to come, I sat down with the superintendent to find out.
Change is never easy, and Noxubee County Superintendent Rod Brodnax says that's especially true in education.
In order for you to be great, you have to be uncomfortable. That means you have to be able to deal with change. And change is tough. But I tell you what, in this district, as long as we focus on kids, and change will be a little bit easier as we move forward.
He says that when he started in August, he would never have thought the district would be where it is now in such a short time. Brodnax says Noxubee County is moving forward quickly, and progress can be seen in the district's academic status.
We had 5 students that made a perfect score on the math state test. And that lets us know that teaching and learning is going on in Noxubee County, not just at a mediocre level, but at a high level.
Brodnax says he has a team that helps him put together the best plan for the district, and the plan includes tomorrow's leaders.
A new Aspiring Leaders Academy I call it for tomorrow's leaders of Noxubee County. And those, we meet bi-weekly with master teachers, I call them master teachers throughout the district, who is ready to move in an upward trajectory in their career.
Brodnax says change is a process, and even though it may hurt and some may not agree with it, it's something you have to stick with.
Everybody's held accountable in the district, from our administrators to our teachers to our students. I'm held accountable from the state, from the community, and if I'm held accountable for what we're going to do for kids, what's best for kids, we're holding everybody else accountable.
Although there has been progress, challenges still remain. The superintendent says one of those includes changing the culture of the district.
What used to happen can't happen for us to be effective. We have to be able to deal with change in order to move forward. So that's one of the challenges of our district, is the culture, changing the culture, not of just a district, but the community as a whole, to say, hey, this is what we want for kids.
The superintendent says the district will have a new fleet of buses this fall. He also says the district is getting ready to start the process of building new schools for the students.
All right, Jory, thanks so much for that update. Well, nearly 5 years after a devastating tornado struck Winston County, Louisville residents now have a safe place to go if disaster strikes again. Winston County has wrapped up construction on a new community storm shelter. Mayor Will Hill says there will be a final walkthrough Friday to make sure that everything is in order. The building will be able to accommodate just over 2,000 people. The building will be dedicated on April the 25th. 2 North Mississippi Family Dollar stores are among 143 set to close nationwide over the next 2 months. The company announced plans earlier to close 400 locations across the country before the end of 2019. Those 400 include the Caledonia and Pontotoc locations. Closing sales will start soon, with plans to conclude the going out of business process by May the 18th. Mississippi state lawmakers are meeting at this hour, hashing out revenue and raises for teachers. The new budget year starts July 1st. Pay increases for teachers in public schools will see a bump. The question, however, remains just how much. The original proposal would have only granted 2 $500 raises over the next 2 years, but a second proposal from the House raised that to a pair of $2,000 raises. Lawmakers will have to decide if they'll approve raises for at least some state, university, and community college employees. Some lawmakers hope to conclude 2019's regular session this week. Mississippi's congressional delegation is urging President Trump to make a quick decision on a request for federal aid for flood and storm damaged areas. The FEMA request says 43 of the state's 83 counties were impacted by the tornadoes and flooding in late February. Preliminary figures show more than 1,300 homes were damaged or destroyed. 126 businesses suffered minor damage and 839 roads across the state were weakened or washed out by floodwaters. Those numbers are expected to climb because 15 counties have not completed damage assessments. One of Tupelo's best-known civil rights leaders has died. Reverend Robert J. Jamison Sr. passed away Sunday. Jamison was the longtime president of the NAACP in Tupelo. He also worked with students and coached and was a teacher at Carver High School. Jamison was pastor of New Providence MB Church, and he founded the People's Community Church. Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton said today that his leadership in Tupelo will be missed. Ward 4 Councilwoman Nettie Davis calling Jamison a mentor, saying he will be remembered as an outstanding educator, religious leader, family man, and an extraordinary role model. Time for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith?
Andrea, some showers and thunderstorms around the region today. A pretty nice rainbow look at that north of Columbus earlier this afternoon as some of those showers were moving on through. Right now the rain is done. A gorgeous view there downtown Louisville, Mississippi. No storms there right now. We had a little bit of small hail this afternoon, but all sunshine and friendly clouds for now. We've got upper 60s south to around 70, already down into the mid to low 60s, 59 in Corinth and 57 in Memphis, a sign of things to come later on tonight. We do have some clouds back to the north here. Those are coming on in, so a little bit of sun now and eventually a little bit more cloud cover later tonight. We're down into the 40s. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
One person was acting suspicious. Another allegedly had meth in the car, and that led to even more arrests. In the past week, Amory police officers have arrested 4 people and charged each with possession of methamphetamine. Jordan Scott Inman was stopped by police near North Main Street when they believed his behavior was suspect. Police say Inman had meth on him at the time. He's out on a $5,000 bond. Now, in a separate case, a traffic stop leads investigators to a house on 5th Avenue North. That's where they arrested Ashley Harmon and Brian Ewan. Both are charged with possession of a controlled substance. After that arrest was made, charges were filed on Jennifer Gardner. Her bond has been revoked. Harmon has a $5,000 bond. Ewan's bond, meanwhile, is higher, $10,000, because of additional felony charges against him. All 3 of them remain in the Monroe County Jail. A traffic stop in Tishomingo County lands a Fulton woman in jail. Sunday, Tishomingo County deputies stopped a car for reckless driving on County Road 864 near Belmont. As deputies approached the vehicle, they say it appeared that both occupants were trying to hide something. The driver and passengers agreed to a search. Investigators say the passenger, Talia Watts of Fulton, had prescription pills and a bag of meth. Watts was arrested for felony possession of methamphetamine. She also had an outstanding warrant from Belmont. Watts' bond has not yet been set. An ill-timed rest stop leads Tishomingo County deputies to a stash of meth. On Friday, deputies responded to a welfare concern after someone noticed a man sitting in a vehicle that was blocking a road near Tishomingo. When deputies got there, they found the driver unconscious. Also reportedly smelled a strong odor of marijuana. They removed the driver and searched the vehicle. The deputies reportedly found a large amount of methamphetamine packed in individual bags, as well as marijuana, the prescription drug Subsicone, and scales. The driver, Billy Don Hall of Dennis, was arrested for felony possession of meth with intent to sell. His bond set at $10,000. The family of a Tupelo man missing for more than a month is pleading for the public's help. 80-year-old Rami Lee Essex was last seen February 19th in the area of Best Western Hotel on North Gloucester Street in Tupelo. His son tells WCBI Essex has dementia, and previously he had left home walking. A highway patrolman apparently found him disoriented and returned him home. Essex is 5'5" and weighs about 130 pounds. If you have any information on his whereabouts, call Tupelo Police or 911. Coming up, a pair of elected officials find a unique way to bridge their public and business lives. We'll take a look or listen when we come back. Welcome back. You might think that running a town would be enough to keep anyone busy, but some area mayors find themselves juggling city hall and private enterprise. Our Stephanie Poole caught up with two city executives who also hold down unique day jobs. She joins us in the studio with that story. Stephanie.
That's right, Andrea. These two men have found a line of work that lets them use their outgoing personalities and helps them stay in touch with their electorate.
It may seem like running a town while also running a business will keep someone on two different tracks, but a pair of mayors have found a business model that keeps them in touch with the residents.
I've owned it and operated it now for about 10 years, and it's a lot of fun. People get that connection with you. They see you at a totally different level. You're not here, you're not busy, you're not trying to solve problems. You're up there singing along with a country song on the radio, you know, acting kind of crazy, and it gives them that personal feel.
Glenn Crawford operates WJEC-FM and WVSA-AM. He hosts a Saturday morning show each week, making sure the residents in Vernon, Alabama are informed about what's going on in the town. Of course, he has a bit of an inside track, since he also serves as the town's mayor.
I'm hired as a part-time mayor that puts in about 50, 60 hours a week as being a mayor because I want this little town to grow. It's a part-time radio, even though I own the station. It's a part-time.
Louisville Mayor Will Hill enjoys both of his jobs. Even though radio has been a lifelong dream, he's had to adjust his priorities.
Radio station does keep us very busy. I do a lot of programming. I do sales when I can. Just trying to schedule and balance the life of mayor, and radio is a challenge sometimes, but I do put my job as mayor at the front.
For Hill, it's Louisville's top job wasn't a part of the picture. He knows where he would be.
I grew up on WLSM, driving by it my entire life. Never thought I'd own the station. As fate would have it, the local radio station owners and I were friends, and I had mentioned something to him years previous. And that conversation began again, and that dialogue continued until the point where I was able to secure that business in 2013.
Now, both Mayor Crawford and Mayor Hill plan to stay in the radio business.
I think I have my signature there in the studio there, WLSM there in Louisville. I think I did that about a year ago. Pretty cool. All right, weather-wise in Tuflo, we're looking at some clear conditions there, a mix of sun and clouds. Overall quiet. Nice weather to round out the work week. Our next chance of rain and storms by Saturday. Details are next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
No rain, no storms in our area. 6:18 on our Monday afternoon. Yes, we had some rain around this morning and even some showers and storms this afternoon, but all these big storms that have developed are now shifting away. Heads up, Montgomery, Alabama, a line of heavy storms with some wind damage and some hail potential there. Look at all these hail reports, these little blue dots today. So the big story today has been the hail and also some damaging wind potential, but no tornadoes in this setup today. That's certainly good news. This is the favorite areas for tornadoes this time of year, March 25th, but as we get into April 25th, notice how things start to expand back out to the northwest as we get into May and June. The higher odds of tornadoes begin to shift out there towards the high plains, and our severe weather season wraps up really about mid-May, so at least as far as that tornado potential. So just another month or two, and then we should be home free as we get into the summer months. Let's hope, right? Right now it looks pretty nice. Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, a mix of sun and clouds and just a great afternoon with temperatures still in the 60s to low 70s. But we actually do have another little band of clouds up here to the northwest. We'll see this pivot on through here later this evening and tonight, and perhaps a little bit tomorrow morning before we break back into the sunshine. A lot of sun for the next few days, so get ready for it. We got 60s here, 70s down to the south, 50s already in Memphis. Lows tonight down into the 40s. Partly to mostly cloudy, winds continue from the northwest, and we're looking at a somewhat breezy day tomorrow. 40s in the morning. By the afternoon, we're looking at a lot of sunshine here, and temperatures in the mid-60s for you in Columbus and Louisville and Starkville, back out towards Winona for you in Bruce and Pontotoc, New Albany, Ripley, Tupelo, lower 60s, some low to mid-60s for you in Sullivan and Vernon, Alabama. Also, as far as Reform goes as well. 60s here, a little bit warmer. I shot at some 70s down to the south, or around 70, but maybe only 59 in Memphis tomorrow, so a little bit cooler back to the north. Futurecast shows those clouds holding tough tonight, but we'll break into that sun sometime tomorrow morning. A lot of sunshine as we get into your Thursday. Our next, or Wednesday and Thursday, and even into Friday too, we'll call it partly cloudy. Our next system right there will give us a chance for a little bit of rain as we get into your Saturday. At this point, just at first glance, it does not look like a severe weather maker for us. We'll watch it though as we go throughout the next couple of days here, but pretty nice warmer 70s by Thursday and Friday. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
For the fourth straight year, Hale State Hoops is off to the Sweet 16. To put that into context, what Hale State Hoops has done of late, Bulldogs women's basketball reached the Sweet 16 once in the 33 years prior. This year's senior class winning 131 games for their career to this point, including yesterday's round of 32 win over Clemson. That being more than MSU women's basketball over the entire 1990s. Head coach Vic Schaefer says all of the success can't be taken for granted, but the ultimate goal of winning a championship continues to apply the pressure.
I think anybody understands how hard it is. I mean, it's so hard. I do think that, hey, when we lose a game, I mean, it's like the sky's falling around here. And you know what? I'd rather have it that way than the other. And I think, again, that's what makes it special here. Look, I feel the obligation, the pressure, because I know the investment that they make here at Mississippi State. And so, it's important to me that we continue to live this life that we've created. I didn't come here to not win championships. That's what I came here to do.
The Bulldogs will face Arizona State in Portland for its Sweet 16 matchup. Another big series win for the Diamond Dogs over Auburn this past weekend, and one of the top Bulldog performers gets a national nod. Sophomore Jordan Westberg named SEC Player of the Week for great performances against Little Rock, Samford, and Auburn. Over that span, Westberg has multiple hits in 4 of his last 5 games and drove in 11 runs this past week. The infielder is batting a blistering .365 with 10 doubles and 25 RBIs already in the early season. Westberg had 30 all of his freshman year, so 5 away from reaching his season total from a year ago. Another big weekend series on the horizon for Jordan Westberg and company. The Bulldogs will face Mississippi Valley State at home on Tuesday, then a Thursday to Saturday series against 15th ranked LSU. Mississippi State has lost 6 of its last 7 meetings with the Tigers, so big another ranked series for the Bulldogs here in the early SEC season. Then for the Ole Miss Rebels, rivalry midweek against the Memphis Tigers, those two meeting for the 149th time in history, Ole Miss sweeping Memphis last year. Then a huge test for the Rebels this weekend on the road at 8th ranked Arkansas. The Razorbacks at the top of the SEC West here in the early season. Also coming up tonight at 10 on WCBI Sports, Ole Miss softball in action. They're ranked this year, so Ole Miss Rebels continue to play very good softball here in the early season. We'll have highlights and updates coming up for you at 10, as well as some more NCAA women's basketball and Sweet 16 talk as we head into Portland for our coverage with Mississippi State women's basketball. That's it for sports. We'll have last year forecast coming up right after the break.
Done with the rain and storms for a while, Andre. We are on easy street for the rest of this work week now. Some of our nights will still be chilly, 40s tonight, maybe mid-30s in some spots tomorrow night. But overall, we're okay. Some more rain, some storms perhaps by Saturday.
All right, so kind of keep your eye if you got plans going on for the weekend.
Saturday could be kind of wet, and don't forget the Columbus Pilgrimage kickoff party is Thursday.
That's exactly
Great weather
right.
for that.
Absolutely. All right, your note, the CBS Evening News has already
Yes,
been here.
Andy Griffith is next,
That
right?
Andy Griffith is next. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.